thought about that. Not just recently, but over the past year.
Yeah.
And the goal had always been to go back to a restaurant. I wanted to open my own brick and mortar. That's kind of what we were building up to before COVID happened. Open a brick and mortar. We have a handful of concepts in mind. And now after doing this for the past year, yes, it's a grind, but it's a grind I enjoy. It's a different grind. We're working almost 30 days a month. We maybe take one day off for ourselves. And even that day is not really a day off. Maybe we're running errands so it's not like, we're just chilling, living off of social media life, which a lot of people may take the wrong way when they see what people do on social media. There's a lot that goes on behind all that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And so I really enjoy it. I'm in no rush to go back to the 13 days a week, 16 hours a day life of running a restaurant.
Yeah.
I would still love to have a restaurant. And recently I've been playing around with the idea in my head. I don't know how it would work, but like a chef doesn't need a restaurant to be a chef with a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So like breaking that down, you think about it, a chef doesn't need a restaurant to be a chef with a restaurant. So I could have a restaurant that maybe it's a ghost pop-up, something that moves or isn't constant in one location. And I'm able to cook for people and I'm able to be creative and I'm able to feed people and take care of people and create those memories. And that's kind of what started this whole journey, was that hospitality and cooking for people. But figuring out a way to do that to maybe I'm not locked down and tied and anchored to something that is so much work, just as much work as I'm already doing, but with less return.
Yeah, for sure.
Because people don't realize, people jump on chefs for thinking they're like millionaires or making tons of money off their restaurants or, they're capitalizing on X, Y, and Z when really, their margins are so small.
Yeah, it's not that much money.
Chefs
it's impressive that chefs make as much money as they make.
Yeah, it is not the industry or the business to go into if you want to make money.
Yeah, no,
there are better ways to make money. There are better ways and better investments to do than a restaurant. I was talking to someone last night. They're like, if you took that same money you used to raise a restaurant, just put it into Bitcoin and wait a year, you'd have more money than you ever would putting it into a restaurant.
Yeah.
And it's funny but true. So yes, maybe Bitcoin's not the best example because it's completely unstable, but I think this last year showed us just how unstable restaurants are.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
And there's no guarantee on that either.
I think what we're realizing too is in our world is that success is no longer dictated by money.
That's true.
You can be happy doing this, and as long as you have the things that you need and your loved ones next to you, then
that's it. Success is like one of those things that you have to put on and almost affirm yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
No one's going to tell you you're successful.
Yeah.
And even if they do, that's not going to make you feel successful.
No,
you need to feel successful yourself. You need to tell yourself you're successful. You need to wake up every day and affirm it. You have to say it out loud. You have to put it out into the universe and believe it. If you don't do that, you could have millions of dollars and still never feel successful.
Exactly.
If you don't think you're successful. And so I think that's a great example of the restaurant industry, of chefs in general, is that money doesn't define success. Being happy and believing in yourself and believing that you're successful does.
And helping people and that's all that matters, to be honest. That's what I realized over this COVID shit, man. It's like no one needs to follow that path that everyone thinks.
No, there's a lot of those paths out there that people do, I think, because they think that's the next thing to do in life.
Exactly.
And I think people are slowly learning and getting away from that. I don't know. It's something maybe from the 1950s that like that whole American dream, buy a house, get married, have a kid, like all these stages of life that you need to do to be successful. Or people are slowly realizing that's not the case.
Yeah. And, people are out there every day changing the game and becoming successful in their own right, like yourself, and I hope that it inspires the future generations to break the mold on what success is. And hopefully, in 50 years, we can see a different future.
I think we are. We're on our way there. I mean, you see, I've read articles now recently where it's like kids in high school that are like figuring out ways to make passive income on their phones.
Yeah. That's badass.
Yeah. Like things we would have never thought were possible.
Yeah. It's only, I mean, I can't wait for this next generation. You know, they're going to be way better than we are. And there is sometimes when I catch myself like, God damn kids. But you know what? At the end of the day, like, they're going to be awesome.
Yep.
So I can't wait to see what happens to them. Chef, thank you very much for doing the show. I
Thank you,
appreciate
Chef.
it. Yeah,
that was a good conversation.
Hell yeah.
I do a lot of these podcasts and I haven't dove into that in as much detail with someone that understands it like you, because you spend the same time in fine dining, those intense kitchens, doing that same sort of grind. Yeah. And it's always good to kind of relive those memories and those defining moments.
Exactly.
And it makes you grateful for what you have and where you are, knowing you've accomplished all of that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm grateful that I can get people's story out there. And I'm grateful that I have that experience that makes you be able to be honest with what goes on in the kitchen and have somebody actually understand rather than, and I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day and he's like, what business are we in? And then ask yourself that again. What business are you in? And like slowly but surely, this is turning into sort of like a food journalism path for me. You know what I'm saying? And, we'll see where it takes me, but, it's obviously taking me to cool places as of now. So I can't wait to see where it goes in the future and where you go in the future. And that said, we'll have to do another show in the future.
Yeah, we will.
All right. Fuck yeah. Sucio Talk signing off.